But you know what? If girls can dress up like sexy nuns and sexy cats, I can be a sexy Bert.
Yeah.
Am I pulling it off?
You look just like him.
Damn it.
It's really weird.
No, I'm a sexy Bert.
It just looks like you have two mustaches. One on your forehead and one where it belongs.
So we got a lot of stuff to go through today. So, intro. Yeah, got to do that. Welcome to the Iconoblast podcast. This is the show that takes a look behind the public facades of famous icons to show you why you can never take anything at face value. I am Bert, and sitting across from me is my heterosexual life mate, Ernie.
Iconoblast. We put the past on blast. Hit them with the truth, with things you never knew. Nobody is safe, no thing to place. Got Joel and Coop with history in your face. Iconoblast.
Presented by GhostBed.com. So today is going to be somewhat of an anthology show. We're doing the horrors of history. I was telling you
horrors
about that.
Horrors of history, yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be another episode in the future. Today it's going to be the horrors of history because...
Horrors, not horrors.
Yes, regardless of how hard modern writers and filmmakers try, they really can't capture the actual horror of...
being a horror.
That and history itself. So let's jump right into it. Oh, I'm going to need my glasses for this.
Okay, Bert.
Bert didn't wear glasses, so I didn't
When he reads, he does, though.
Oh, okay. So Bert has reading glasses. He just never reads on Sesame Street.
Yeah.
Our first story comes from one of the most horrifying time periods in history, World War II. Although there are countless horror stories from the Second World War, such as Unit 731, the Derlewanger Brigade, and the hundreds of Japanese soldiers torn apart by crocodiles on Ramree Island, we will save those tales for future episodes. Today we will be talking about a group of 9 pilots who were shot down over the Pacific Ocean.
Oh, shit.
And Ramree Island, all three of those things that I just mentioned, Unit 731, the Derlewanger Brigade, and Ramree Island, all future episodes, and they're all fucking terrible. Especially,
what do you mean terrible? Just like fucked up what happened?
Yeah. I think Ramree Island is more like horror story-ish because it's a bunch of Japanese soldiers that got ripped apart by crocodiles.
And that's what we're talking about?
From a battle. No, we're not.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about...
Like, how's that Halloween-y?
We're talking about a group of 9 pilots who were shot down over the Pacific Ocean. So, I mean, these aren't
by
really...
ghosts?
No, these aren't really like super... What I'm going for is true horror stories from history. Like, these are horrific things that have happened in history.
Okay.
On the morning of September 2nd, 1944, a squadron of Grumman TBF Avenger torpedo bombers were launched from an aircraft carriers near the island of Chichijima, around 500 miles from Japan.
Chichijima, yeah. I remembered that place.
I'm
Chichi.
Sure,
There's
I'm sure
so many.
you do, Arnold.
Yeah, lots of Chichis there.
Arnold was a hero of the Pacific in World War II. For some reason, didn't fight in the European theater, even though he was in Austria and also not born yet.
Chichis.
Their mission was to attack the small but strategically important island hosting a radio tower which allowed the Japanese to send long-range messages. Within an hour of taking flight, a handful of U.S. planes were struck by anti-aircraft fire and crashed into the shark-infested waters below. 9 U.S. airmen ended up in the water that day, 8 of which were captured by Japanese patrols. The 8 men taken to Chichijima faced an unimaginable nightmare.
Oh, fuck.
Once they had been taken to the island, all 8 men were brutally tortured and executed.
There was no titties, huh? No chichis.
No, just a bunch of angry, starving Japanese soldiers.
Fuck.
A radio operator from one of the torpedo bombers was taken to a freshly dug grave before being blindfolded and beheaded with a katana. Another airman was beaten to death with the butts of the Japanese soldiers' rifles, and the others were stabbed to death with sharpened bamboo spears.
Damn.
And that's after they had already been tortured. Like, they had been beaten, tortured, and then...
How long were they alive
executed. I'm sure that all of them died within the first day.
Oh, so they were just torturing them that day and then killed them.
Yeah, they were probably all alive for longer than they would have preferred to have been, considering the circumstances.
Right.
Shortly after the execution of one of the American prisoners, a Japanese general named Yoshio Tachibana wanted to test the fighting spirit of himself and his comrades. To do this, they ordered the body be dug up and had a surgeon remove the liver and thigh muscles of the dead American. What happened next was enough to give Hannibal Lecter a priapism.
Oh, fuck. They're going to eat him?
The liver of
Those
the American...
crazy bastards.
Right? Oh, there's the fog machine. Oh, we gotta smoke this place up. It's not nearly moody enough right now.
If you can't, I don't know if that'll. You'll probably be able to hear that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you're gonna be able to hear it. That fog machine isn't putting out a whole lot of fog. Do we need to face it the other direction?
It'll work.
Okay.
It'll slowly make its way.
Should we just keep juicing it until it's nice and moody in
as
here?
far as it can go until it recharges.
Oh, okay.
I'll just keep an eye on it. I'll keep
Okay.
blasting it. Get it nice and smoky in here.
So if anybody's curious about what that sound is, that's the smoke machine that's giving us a nice moody vibe here in the spooky studio.
Yeah, the little Halloween
Yeah.
vibe.
That's, well, we have a couple reasons for people to tune in to the Drinkin' Bros History channel on YouTube today because
Yeah.
Joel and I are dressed up like Bert
We
and
look
Ernie.
like idiots.
I think I look
Bert
like...
and Ernie, you
I
went
definitely...
the extra mile with that unibrow.
Yeah, all I had to do was stop plucking my eyebrows for a day. This shit gets out of control. I'm surprised I don't have any Armenian blood in me because, like, this is an Armenian unibrow.
You grew that just today.
Yeah.
I didn't know you plucked
since
your
this
eyebrows
morning.
every day.
Every single morning. If I don't, this is what happens.
Fuck, crazy, dude.
The liver of the American was sliced into cubes, seasoned with soy sauce, and cooked on bamboo skewers along with some vegetables, which is like one of the most horrifying
Fuck.
shish kebabs I can think of, aside from the shish kebabs that we talked about in the last episode, which were just people on spikes.
Oh,
The Japanese officers then held a feast where they consumed the cooked liver.
human liver?
Yep, the
And-
cooked liver and thigh muscles of the dead American.
They were hungry.
According to Admiral Kinitsu Mori, the dish... Kinitsu.
Drink.
Oh, yep, drink. Shit. I might have to open another ranch water. I feel like the only way that I'm really pulling off this Bert costume is if Bert was like a former Hitler youth.
No, Bert. When Bert goes to work, he works at a library and he puts on glasses. And
No.
he has to comb his hair down.
If Bert went to work at a microbrewery. According to Admiral Kinitsu Mori, the dish was apparently a delicacy and considered to be good for the stomach. So they repeated their cannibalistic act with 4 of the other dead Americans.
Fuck.
Major Suio Matoba, who took part in the cannibalism, later defended his actions, saying, quote, "These incidents occurred when Japan was meeting defeat after defeat. The personnel became excited, agitated, and seething with uncontrollable rage. We were hungry. I hardly know what happened after that.
Fuck.
We really were not cannibals." Okay, so first of
you're
all,
eating humans, so you're cannibal.
if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's probably a fucking cannibal.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I mean, by definition, you're a fucking cannibal.
I mean,
Plain
they're
and simple.
They're already not that far from eating humans anyway. Those fuckers
So
eat everything.
during World War... Oh, yeah.
Is that a drink thing?
Yeah, drink, but poor dogs and cats. Cannibalism by the Japanese during World War II in the Pacific wasn't unheard of. I don't know exactly how common it was, but it was
Do
common
they still
enough.
eat humans now?
I mean, maybe some of the lunatics do.
Do they bite the tips off penises like the Jews?
Drink.
Drink?
I mean, that's true though. That's how a traditional exorcism. That's how a traditional exorcism is done. When they get the ghosts out of your pee-pee by biting it.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a story of a priest that was like, that boy's got the devil in him. The only way to get it out is to bite his dick tip off.
That boy's got the devil in him, specifically in his dick.
Yeah. I'm going to bite that skin
I'm gonna
off.
Bite the devil out of him. So one of the reasons that I included this story isn't just because of the horrific nature of the whole thing that was going on, because there's a lot of instances of cannibalism during World War II, especially in Russia.
Oh, really? The Russians like to eat humans.
Well, they were forced to. Like during the siege of, I think it was the siege of
You
Stalingrad.
can't rape the willing. Drink again? Probably.
Probably, yeah, I'm sure. Let's do it anyway, just to be safe. I don't think the Russians were raping dead bodies. I think they were just eating them because they were starving to death during a prolonged and extremely brutal siege. But the reason I wanted to include this story is one of the people involved is somebody that a lot of you may know. The sole survivor of the incident was a 20-year-old pilot who was able to keep his plane in the air long enough to fly out to sea before he and his crew were forced to bail out.
Tom Hardy.
Close. So close. You have no idea. Not really close.
Because remember in that movie when Tom Hardy's a pilot and he crashes?
Yeah, that was like, what, the third movie in a row where Tom Hardy wore a mask the entire time?
Yeah. He's good at acting behind a mask.
I'm a big Tom Hardy fan. He seems like he would be a douchebag in person, and I've heard a lot of douchey stories about him, but
Yeah.
I think he's a fucking amazing actor.
He does. He can play a tough guy pretty well, but he's probably a little sweetie pie.
He used to be a crackhead. He loves animals, which I'll give him that. He is a big time animal lover.
Okay.
If you know what I mean.
He fucks them?
How else do you love something?
Tom Hardy sleeps with animals?
I'm sure he. Well, I mean, not. Okay, I don't want to defame.
He puts a finger?
I don't want to be convicted of slander against Tom Hardy by
Do
saying.
you think he
that
accidentally
fucks
slips it in when he's snuggling?
Who doesn't? That's an innocent mistake. So the sole survivor of the incident was a 20-year-old pilot who was able to keep his plane in the air for long enough to fly it out to sea. Crash landed in the water, but the parachute of one man failed to open, resulting in his death when he struck the water. The other crewman became trapped in the plane, dying on impact.
Fuck.
But the young pilot was able to remain afloat long enough to be picked up by an American submarine.
No shit.
That young pilot was none other than future President George H.W. Bush.
What?
He almost got captured and
Bush
eaten,
number
eaten
one?
by, yeah,
Whoa.
Bush Sr. Almost got captured and eaten by Japanese soldiers.
I never
out in
heard
the
that
Pacific.
story. Wait, I think I know that he got shot down. I think I've heard that he got shot down, but I didn't know the details of what happened to everyone else.
They call this the Chichijima incident,
The
and I knew you were going to do that again. They call it the Chichijima incident, and
What's Chichijima mean?
it's the island.
Titty Island.
Yeah, Titty Island.
Jima is island and Chichi is titty, right?
Yeah, so
Chichi-
Chichijima is Titty Island.
Titty Island.
It's really like, okay, don't let the name fool you. This is like a Iceland Greenland thing. It's a misleading title. Chichijima is not an island filled with titties.
Yeah,
It's
that's how
an
they get
island
you to
filled
go
with
there,
Cannibals.
and they fucking eat you.
Well, it's probably not filled with cannibals anymore.
We don't know that.
So when at the time George H.W. Bush was one of the youngest pilots in the Navy, he worked his way up faster than most. Or I mean, there's a good chance that. Did the smoke machine break already?
No, it just takes a long time to charge in
heated up
between.
yet. Either he worked his way up to becoming a pilot. So he was a lieutenant something by the time he became a pilot, but he was one of the youngest pilots in the Navy. Apparently an exceptionally good pilot. And when he bailed out and landed in the water, he was the only surviving crew member from the three-man crew that was flying this
And
torpedo bomber.
he made a raft out of the dead bodies, and
He
also
had
lived
to.
off the corpses until the submarine found them.
Yeah, so the Japanese weren't the only people committing cannibalism that day.
I also heard that he actually made a fishing rod out of the human bones of his co-pilot and actually hooked the submarine and pulled it up to him.
Reeled it up to the surface.
Yeah. And was like, I'm here.
He almost did get captured by Japanese patrol boats, but other planes that were circling around, whenever the patrol boats would start moving in to get close to him, they would come in and strafe the boat with their guns to drive him away, and they were able to keep the Japanese away long enough for a submarine to come along and surface in front of them.
That's so crazy.
And he said when they finally pulled him onto the submarine, I mean, he was in the water for hours, not days or anything like that, but he was in the water for hours.
Yeah.
And when they finally pulled him on board the submarine, he said that he only had the energy to say 4 words, which was happy to be aboard.
Whoa.
And they took him
And
down
then he
below.
passed out?
So George H.W. Bush was, I mean, quite the badass, to be honest, because there's some speculations about work that he did with the CIA. We'll do a series on him later.
Sweet.
Dan Holloway actually recommended some books for me to check out that talk about his history in the CIA, and
He was a crazy motherfucker throughout his life.
yeah, he was.
Bush Sr.
Yeah, Bush Sr. And
And Bush Jr. was just a goddamn party animal.
he was a fucking party boy. He was a good old boy. So our next story is a little bit more in the vein of horror.
So that's the end of the story?
Yeah.
Okay, so they all just got eaten.
Yeah, they all
They
got...
didn't drop a bomb on that fucking, on Titty Island?
Oh, they George Bush dropped, I think he dropped 3 bombs on the island before he was shot down.
Oh, well but he got shot down with everyone else, right?
Yeah, it was over the
So
over
I
the
mean,
period
after,
of.
like, did they nuke that fucking?
They ended up capturing it. Yeah,
That was bad.
well, no, the nukes came later,
Yeah, I'm gonna drink for that.
and they weren't going to waste it on a small island. They dropped the nukes on a much bigger island. So the next story is a little bit more horror story-esque. It's about an unsolved murder, and to me, I think that this is a really creepy unsolved murder. The final story that we're going to be talking about today is, I think, straight up classic horror, at least the type of horror that I like.
Fuck yeah.
Our next story took place in March of 1922 on a Bavarian farmstead called Hinterkaifeck.
Should I put like scary, creepy, cheesy horror music under these, or save it for the last one?
You can probably put it under this one.
Okay.
The next episode is just going to be about ghosts in general. So, I mean,
No, but I mean, like
okay,
each story should it have like a spooky story sound effect?
No,
playing
in the
underneath?
background, it should just be that time for Halloween, just
The whole time
on repeat through the
Just
entire
and
episode.
louder than our voices.
Yeah. Yeah, we should be yelling over the top of that right now.
I don't think that's a good idea, Coop.
I think that's a terrible idea, but I'm full of terrible ideas. Our next story took place in March of 1922 on a Bavarian farmstead called Hinterkaifeck. I'm
Bavarian, yeah.
sure I'm pronouncing that wrong. Hinterkaifeck.
Hinterkaifeck, yeah. It's like the trifecta of the different countries connecting on the border
the
of
different
Bolivia.
hinters.
Yeah.
It's roughly 50 miles north of Munich in Germany.
Okay.
The residents of the farm were the Gruber family, not Hans Gruber.
Oh.
I knew exactly. That's the first.
I literally watched Die Hard with a Vengeance last night.
That's the first thing that I thought of when I heard the family name. Is like, oh, is this where Hans came from? Is that why he's such an asshole?
Hans Gruber, yeah, he fell out the window. He fell off the building. And then a couple years later, his little brother came over and tried to fuck with John McClane and made him do riddles and stuff, you know?
Simon.
Yeah. Simone.
You know, the guy who plays Simon in, what's that, Die Hard?
With a Vengeance.
That's Die Hard with a Vengeance, one with Samuel L. Jackson?
Yeah.
The guy
Zeus, you mean?
Zeus. The residents of the farm were the Gruber family. 63-year-old father, Andreas Gruber, 72-year-old mother, Katzelia Gruber, 35-year-old widowed daughter, Victoria Gabriel, 7-year-old granddaughter, Katzelia.
Are you sure it's not the Gruber family from the movies?
I mean, he might have
Because
been
what
like
about his girl-
a
his
cousin
girl-
or something like that.
The hot blonde babe? With
Wait,
the daggers?
she wasn't a member of his family.
Are you sure?
So wait, Hans Gruber's brother was fucking their sister? Is that what you're implying?
Yes. Well, they didn't. I don't think because she was banging the general guy.
Wait, I thought she was.
And then she was fucking her
banging
brother
Simon.
also. They were like
Hey,
they were. You know,
what?
they're
If-
bad guys.
If it's good enough for the Lannisters, it's good enough for them.
Yeah, she was hot though.
Oh yeah, I'm
She
not
was
disagreeing
scary.
with
I
you
remember
there.
that she was scary and hot.
I feel
Dangerous
like
combo.
I feel like the majority of the girls that you're attracted to are scary.
Scary and
Yeah.
hot and foreign. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's pretty accurate.
Mommy.
So there was. I already talked about the father Andreas, mother Katzelia Gruber, 35-year-old widowed daughter Victoria Gabriel, 7-year-old granddaughter Katzelia, 2-year-old grandson Joseph, and a 44-year-old maid named Maria Baumgartner. In March
They
of
were
ni-
all fucking each other.
you're living out on a farm. There's nothing else to do. I mean, what are you gonna just pop over to the local bar that's like 30 miles away? Yeah, you just get drunk and bang your family members.
Yeah.
In March of 1922, Andreas found a copy of a Munich newspaper on the property which he had no memory of buying. No one in the area subscribed to the newspaper, but Andreas assumed that the mailman had accidentally dropped it while delivering their mail. But this was not the last strange discovery made by the Grubers. So 6 months before this, even, they had a maid. The reason that Maria Baumgartner came in to start working for him is because their previous maid, 6 months earlier, had quit her job because she said that she kept hearing strange noises coming from the attic, like footsteps, and she thought the place was haunted because she kept hearing noises coming from the attic of the farmhouse. So she quit her job and left. And then 6 months later, they were able to hire Miss Baumgartner.
Miss Baumgartner.
Baumgartner.
That's a funny name.
Days before the fateful events took place, Andreas told his neighbors he had found a fresh set of footprints leading from a nearby forest to a door with a broken lock in the farm's machine room. The footsteps led to the door, but there were no footsteps leading back to the forest.
Ooh.
Later that night, the family heard footsteps in the attic of the farmhouse, but upon searching the building, Andreas found nothing. On the afternoon of March 31st, 1922, Maria Baumgartner arrived for her first and last day as the family's maid.
Oh, fuck.
Maria's sister, who escorted her to the farm, is believed to be the last person to see the Grubers alive. 4 days later, their mutilated bodies were discovered by a neighbor named Lawrence Schlittenbauer. Schlittenbauer. God, the Germans have the silliest names. They all sound angry, though. It's like all German names sound
Tough as hell.
simultaneously silly but scary.
Yeah, intimidating.
Yeah. According to the subsequent investigations, Andreas, Katzelia, their daughter Victoria, and granddaughter Katzelia were lured into the family barn one at a time. Once inside, they were bludgeoned to death with a mattock, which is a tool similar to a pickaxe, but with a vertical axe head on one end and a horizontal blade called an adze on the other.
Oh.
After murdering the other family members, the attacker moved into the farmhouse, where they bludgeoned 2-year-old Joseph to death as he slept in his bassinet, using the same mattock. The killer then found the maid, Maria Baumgartner, sleeping in her room. She met the same fate as the rest of the family.
He just walked around killing them all.
Yeah, walked through. The part that's kind of confusing to me is how, like, what was the process of events? How was this person able to lure each member of the family out into the barn and beat them to death with a mattock? I mean, it must have just completely destroyed their heads. If you've seen any of the crime scene photos from the murders at like Lizzie Borden's house when her family got murdered, an axe murder is a pretty fucking messy process.
Yeah.
I mean, unsurprisingly.
Chunky.
But somehow the person or persons, they don't know if it was a single person or multiple people. I kind of
Oh, they never
that
caught this person.
No. Well, here,
Holy shit.
The police began an investigation after the discovery of the bodies. No money or valuables were missing, including a large amount of money the family had stored in their home, meaning a robbery gone awry was unlikely. They also found evidence that the killer had remained at the farm for days afterwards. The cattle had been fed, all of the bread in the kitchen had been eaten, and meat had recently been taken from the pantry.
Holy shit. They stayed there for a while after.
Despite arresting multiple suspects, no one was ever convicted, and the case was closed in 1955. It remains unsolved to this day.
Shit.
And
How many people were killed?
It was
6?
Yeah, I think so. It was Andreas, Katzelia, Victoria, younger Katzelia, Joseph, and Maria Baumgartner. So 6.
6. Fuck. You know why he stayed for, or you know why whoever it was that did this stayed for a few days after?
Why?
Because they probably had a ghost bed.
They probably had a ghost bed in the farmhouse. And you know what? Speaking of ghost bed, that's our sponsor for today's episode. The Iconoblast podcast is presented by ghostbed.com/Drinkin' Bros. GhostBed has been a loyal sponsor of the Drinkin' Bros for 5 years now, and everyone here in the studio is in love with their mattresses and pillows. GhostBed makes their high-quality mattresses right here in the good old USA, and each mattress comes with a 20-year warranty. You can try a GhostBed mattress for 101 nights, and if you're not completely satisfied, you can return it with no questions asked. Their mattresses and pillows have cooling technology to help you keep cool at night, which actually, I think I'm finally just starting to sleep comfortably at night where I'm not feeling too hot without the air conditioner just blasting the entire fucking night.
That'd be nice, even if it's cold. Like, I sweat in my bed all the time.
I think that's just a side effect of alcoholism.
Alcoholism?
Yeah. Why does the smoke machine have a rainbow light on it?
I have no idea. It's gay. Drink.
Yeah, drink. We mentioned it on the last episode, but the massager on the ghost bed,
Oh, yeah.
that's primo. And yeah, you can buy a mattress for around $35 per month, and they have no money down, 0% financing plans. GhostBed also offers bundles so you can get everything you need in one convenient package. Just choose from their 4 mattresses and then pick your bundle. So whether you just need a mattress and frame, or you want it all, like their cooling pillows and sheets, you can always get the best bang for your buck, and you need the frame. The frame is
awesome.
what has a massager.
I've never even thought about saying that. I mean, I sleep on a mattress on the floor most of my life.
Yeah.
The
Makes
vibrating thing, fuck. And the fact that it lifts up and down, like, fuck, I guess I'm getting old, bro. I like that shit.
Yeah, me too.
You can play video games from the bed. Just lift up the back,
Oh, man.
vibrate it on, play some games, fall asleep, boom.
Every morning when I wake up, I always bunch up a bunch of pillows behind me so I can sit there and check
Fuck
social
around.
media and screw around on my phone for a minute before I have to drag myself out of bed to face the day. In a ghost bed, you just press a button and it lifts you right up. And
Yeah.
Then you can turn on the massager. I'd never get out of bed.
Yeah, you can't use that in the morning. You have to save that massage for... That's your reward for your hard day's work.
Right now, GhostBed is offering a flash sale where you can get 40% off when you buy a mattress and adjustable base, or 30% off of everything when you use the promo code DrinkinBros. So head over to ghostbed.com/DrinkinBros to take advantage of all these awesome deals. That's ghostbed.com/DrinkinBros. GhostBed. Sleep so good, it's scary. Oh, yeah, and you got your GhostBed cup right now.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of things that are scary,
Spooky, scary.
we're moving on to my favorite story of the episode. And this is a
Okay.
story that I have absolutely loved since I was a little kid.
Spooky story. We went to that Halloween store today to
It
get
sucked.
the fog juice. It sucked so bad.
Yeah.
Are we just getting old, or is it just seems so cheap and shitty, everything? If you're a kid, do you just still love it?
Yeah, I'm sure you do. I think
You
that
have
we're-
to, right? You
I
just
think
don't
that we're
know
just
better.
getting old
Yeah.
and bitter
When you're a
and
kid,
jaded.
all that shit is just amazing.
I mean, I know for a fact that I'm getting old and bitter and jaded.
I still went through the little haunted house they had. It was pretty cool.
That's true. I
The
didn't
part
go through
at the
that.
end was the scariest because it was like obviously it was a fucking extension cord cable that was cut and taped together, and then the tape had fallen off and it was just dangling right there at the end.
So it wasn't supernatural. It was just an OSHA violation.
yeah.
Those are scary too. The older
No, that
you
was
get,
the scariest part.
the older you get, the less afraid of ghosts you are, and the more afraid of OSHA violations. So, what are your views on werewolves? Because me personally, I think that they're the scariest of all the movie monsters.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
You know about the
werewolves and vampires. Well, that's the two.
I've never been afraid of vampires.
It's not.
I've never
it's
been
there-
afraid of
it's a different
vampires,
kind
never
of
been afraid of Frankenstein, never been afraid of mummies. Like werewolves, I was genuinely afraid of as a kid. My sister used to torture me by having me
She
watch the
had a
Howling
big
movies.
bush.
Well, I mean that's a
You used to
whole
call it
other
the
bag
werewolf?
of worms. Yeah. We grew up in Southeast Oregon. It's not like there's somebody that can wax that thing anywhere nearby.
Holy shit, that would be fucking rad if you were like some woman that had a pussy called a werewolf.
I'm
That,
sure
like
there are.
they got nicknamed on its own. Like you find out about it. Like you got it, but not you. Like, oh yo, that's Betsy. She's the one with the werewolf.
She's
got
the
that
one-
werewolf.
She's got the werewolf?
Oh yeah,
Shit, I hope it's a full moon tonight.
get down there.
So when I was growing up, you know the Bray Road Beast? I think it comes from Wisconsin. Is it? Pretty sure it's like Wisconsin. I don't know, somewhere like that. It's a
Sounds familiar.
werewolf type cryptid that lives near a cornfield, and Unsolved Mysteries scarred the fuck out of me when I was a kid. I used to watch Unsolved Mysteries all the time with my family.
And they had a werewolf episode.
Yeah, they had a segment on one of the episodes about the Bray Road Beast, and I was convinced that there was a werewolf living somewhere near my house when I was growing up. I used to have a recurring nightmare about walking towards my house, and so if you're walking towards my well, I say house, but I'm being generous because it was a double wide trailer. Mm-hmm. We were rednecks, obviously. I had this recurring dream where I'm walking towards the trailer that we grew up in, and there was a dirt road that led to an old, unused corral. Mm-hmm. And I would be walking up, it was like twilight, and I'd look over and I would see this figure walking down the road from the corral towards me, walking on 2 legs. And then as it got closer, it would drop down to all 4s and start running towards me. and I would freak out because I would know that it was a werewolf. So my reaction in the dream was always to like drop down onto my knees and cover my ears and close my eyes. And the weird part about it was, like I said, this was a recurring nightmare.
And stick your butt up?
Yeah, because you want to show submission when you're dealing with an alpha like that.
Spread the cheeks and get down low.
You
Close your eyes.
don't want it to take it from you. You might as well just give it because it's going to be easier in the long run. But I would drop down onto my knees, cover my ears, close my eyes, and then it would just make this horrible high-pitched screech at me when it finally got to me. And that was a part of the dream that always woke me up. But I had that, probably at least 5 or 6 times when I was growing up, and it was always exactly the same.
That's creepy.
I'm sure Freud would have something to say about that. Well, if Freud had anything to say about it, he'd be like, "Oh, you want to fuck your mother?"
Yeah.
So anyway, we're going to be talking about...
That's his answer to everything.
Well, yeah.
How do you feel today? Oh, you want to fuck your mom.
So, oh, you're hungry? You want to fuck your mother?
Yeah.
I feel like that was more of a Romanian accent than German. I'm pretty sure Freud was German.
Romania.
This final story is arguably one of the most well-documented cryptid sightings in history.
Oh.
Between 1764 and 1767, a creature terrorized the inhabitants of the Margeride Mountains in France. By some accounts, it claimed more than 500 victims. The unholy abomination responsible for these attacks is known as the Beast of Gévaudan.
The Beast of Gévaudan?
Gévaudan. G-E-V-A-U-D-A-N. Gévaudan. As I say with the majority of the foreign words that I say on the show, I'm most likely butchering it.
The proper pronunciation is something like Gévaudan.
I just can't do the guttural sound in the back of my throat.
Gévaudan?
Gévaudan.
Gévaudan.
It's probably like Gévaudan.
Gévaudan. I think we should drink.
I knew that 2 ranch waters wasn't going to be enough for me. What do you got in there? Bad news?
It's tequila and
Oh, Jesus
lime.
Christ. This smells like regret.
It is. Big gulp. Big gulp. Yeah, there you go, son.
Oh.
It's called man juice.
That tastes like a combination of tequila and sweaty socks.
It's tequila and
the sweat from your socks?
sweaty socks, yeah. Lime and grapefruit or something. Something that doesn't mix. I just grabbed...
I can definitely tell that it doesn't mix. 'Cause I usually like tequila, and that
It's good if it's...
tastes like ass.
The soda water things, the Topo Chico things. Mm-hmm. I grabbed one and it said like grapefruit on it. And I was like, fuck it. We're running late. And I just poured it in. And it doesn't taste good.
So
if it was just like the
grapefruit and
soda
jock
water
sweat?
and lime with tequila, it'd be really good.
Why would you grab the grapefruit and jock sweat flavor? Nobody likes that flavor.
We were in a hurry.
Okay, that's true. So what this story reminds me of is...
What's it called again? Gévaudan? Gévaudan.
The Beast of Gévaudan.
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 G-E-
Like Demavan Peak. But
G-E-V-A-U-D-A-N.
Gévaudan. That's hard to say for some reason.
Gévaudan.
Gévaudan.
This story overall reminds me of, obviously, the Ghost in the Darkness about the...
Val Kilmer?
Yeah, about Val Kilmer.
About Val Kilmer and Kirk Douglas? No, Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas, yeah. Michael Douglas pre-throat cancer from going down on Catherine Zeta-Jones. Which
Is that how he got it?
If you're going to get throat cancer...
Might as well. I would do it.
That's the way I'd want to get it.
Entrapment.
Oh, that one single shot
I went to see the
from
movie.
Entrapment, that's why I went and saw the movie.
That's why I know who she is.
That too. Well, no, I think I saw her in Mask of Zorro. Or not, Zorro, was it Mask of Zorro, or was that the sequel? Zorro with Antonio Banderas.
Yeah, but I never really cared who she was. I mean, she was hot in it.
Oh, well, yeah, it's Catherine Zeta-Jones. She's hot in everything. Right? I mean, I can't think of anything that she hasn't looked good in.
True. That's true, yeah. But that shot, Jesus.
That one
I remember
single
that
shot
took
from
the world
Entrapment.
over.
Yeah. That was probably... Because that was
the best move they could ever make.
That was pre-Swordfish. And I think up until Swordfish came out with that one brief shot of Halle Berry topless, like that was the only thing that unseated in Entrapment, in my opinion.
She was hot in that. Halle Berry is a weird one, right? Because she was so hot. And then just all of a sudden it was like, no.
Really?
Done. I think it was because when she did Catwoman. It just
Catwoman
killed her.
was like objectively a fucking horrible movie.
Yeah, but there was something about it. I'm just not attracted to her at all anymore. Even when I watch Swordfish now, I'm like, why did I think she was so hot?
Can I get another little? I'm out of booze, so I gotta drink your jockstrap water.
It is kind of jockey. It literally tastes like sweat.
Yeah, it does. And like I said, I'm a fan of tequila, and that tastes bad. Mm-hmm. You put something else in that.
It's the grapefruit. And
yeah,
you can't make whatever.
I don't even like the grapefruit flavored ranch water, which is funny
I had to
because
pee
I've
too.
got a couple of them. God damn it, Joel.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice,
Hey, you're still
or
drinking it.
half a dozen times, shame on me.
You're still drinking it.
Yeah, well, I have no other. We have a rule on the show. If we say something that is insensitive, we have to take a drink. That's just how it works.
Oh,
What? Oh yeah,
we got one of these left.
Chapes. Still got one of these IPAs that Chapes sent us. Thank you, Chapes. These are good.
The Chinese chicken.
Oh God, you're gonna go back into that again. You were doing that in the car for like 10 minutes earlier today. Arnold Schwarzenegger he's not a Bare Naked Ladies fan. I mean, he's a fan of Naked Ladies, but not the group Bare Naked Ladies.
You could imagine like Arnold super excited on like a Saturday night. He's with his three maids. He's a little loose. He had a few shots of peppermint schnapps and he's just kind of like grooving and not thinking about the camera that's on him.
I would love to hear Arnold Schwarzenegger do karaoke.
It'd be fucking the best, dude. A chicken to China, the Chinese chicken, have a drumstick in the brain is tripping out there, and then the movie's about the X-Files, and then the lights are off. There's something like that, yeah.
Now clap.
Yeah.
Song's over.
Get out of here.
So back to the Beast of Gévaudan.
Gévaudan. Yeah, I heard about this.
Descriptions of the beast vary depending on the source, but all sources generally describe it as being a wolf-like canine.
Is it Kate Winslet? Kate
Canine.
Underworld.
Lycanthrope. A lycanthrope.
But that's the hottest vampire that ever lived.
Not Kate Beckinsale.
Kate
Beckinsale from... Oh, yeah, hands down.
Fucking hate.
No. Dude, no question. Have you seen her recently?
No.
She's looked fucking amazing since she was like 20.
That movie came out. I love her outfit.
She's one of the...
Dual pistols, flipping around in tight
She's
pants,
one of the,
killing werewolves.
One of the few women that can give Monica Bellucci a run for her money in terms of aging very well.
Yeah.
Because Kate
Who's the
Beckinsale,
babe in Doomsday? Looks like her.
Doomsday?
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about Rona Mitra?
Is that who that is?
If you're
Because she took over Underworld at some point, right? The girl from
Oh,
Doomsday.
yeah, that's Rona Mitra.
Yeah.
Dude, Rona
She's
Mitra.
hot, too.
I had a huge crush on her when I was going through my phase where I was obsessed with Tomb Raider and Lara Croft.
Yeah.
I wanted Rona Mitra to play Lara Croft.
She would have done good at that.
I'm not an
Did you
Angelina
like
Jolie
Doomsday?
fan.
It's
Doomsday
cheesy,
was fucking
but
awesome.
it's awesome, yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm totally into horrible movies.
Yeah, but it was cheesy, but it felt like Mad Max, and at the time there wasn't anything else except for Mad Max that you could watch that was like that.
Yeah, Fury Road hadn't come out yet, so you just had to take what you could get.
Yeah, or Waterworld.
Is it true that they're making another Waterworld? I hope to God it's true.
I heard they're making a TV series.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Either way, I want more Waterworld.
God, I would love that. The world said no, and Kevin Costner's like, watch this.
Kevin Costner's like, fuck
you. I'll make a fucking TV show about it. I'll do 20 hours of fucking Waterworld right now if you want to fuck with me.
If you got a hog the size of his, you can do whatever you want.
They finally made their money
Lemon B.
back like
Johnson.
last year, so now they can.
Yeah,
now it's a success.
It took them that long to pay off all of their investors, and they're like, okay, so sequel? No, TV series.
Look, it's making money now. It's making money now. It's on Netflix. We got paid $30,000 for that.
Totally, yeah. Netflix fucking paid through the nose for that movie.
Dude, at the time, that was the largest budget film at the time.
It was the largest
$300 million.
Largest budget flop.
Yeah, well, it was one of the biggest budgets.
Oh,
in
so it was
Hollywood
just
history at the time,
biggest
and then
budget in general.
and then the biggest flop on top of that.
God bless him. I fucking love that.
Great film.
I went and saw it in theaters when it first came out. I fucking loved that movie.
I think it came out the same time as Beethoven Second, because I saw both of those movies at the same time.
Oh, that I'm not sure. I didn't see Beethoven the Second.
I'm pretty sure, like in my memory, I went with my stepdad, and my stepdad has like fucking 10 daughters. There's no blood relation here, you know.
So all the stuff that you did was okay?
So, oh God. But I think they all went and saw Beethoven, did Beethoven Second, and then I went and saw Waterworld with my stepdad.
You made the right choice.
Yeah, and it was awesome.
So speaking of big scary dogs like Beethoven,
Yes.
the Beast of Gévaudan, generally described as being a wolf-like canine, it was said to be anywhere between the size of a large dog and a horse.
Fuck.
Once again, depending on sources, with an elongated head similar to a greyhound. It had a blunt snout with a wide mouth, pointed ears, and a broad chest, along with a long tail with a tuft of fur at the end, similar to a male lion.
What the?
The color of its fur ranged from tan to reddish brown, with black stripes along its back and a white heart-shaped pattern on its underbelly.
It had a lion tail? Doesn't that instantly make it cute?
So, well, the descriptions of the Beast of Gévaudan it's kind of what created all of the... So we're going to get into some of the theories of what it actually was towards the end of the episode.
Was it just a lion? It's got a lion tail.
No, well, have you seen Brotherhood of the Wolf?
No.
You need to see Brotherhood of the Wolf.
Have you seen Underworld?
I will. Yes, of course I've seen Underworld.
All of them?
Pretty sure.
Me too. Have you ever masturbated to it?
Name something I haven't. You can't. Exactly. The first recorded sighting of the Beast of Gévaudan occurred in the summer of 1764. A young woman named Marie Jeanne Vallée was tending to cattle alone in the Mariquois forest near her home in Langon.
Jesus, you got none of those right.
No, I know.
None of those. I couldn't get them right either.
Swing and a miss on all those. Suddenly, she saw a beast she described as, quote, like a wolf, yet not a wolf, which was charging at her from out of the trees. Marie Vallée would have become the beast's first victim were it not for the bulls in the herd charging towards the creature and driving it off. After being repelled by the bulls on 2 occasions, the beast fled into the woods in search of another victim.
So it wasn't that tough.
I mean, bulls can be...
Bulls are pretty fucking gnarly.
Yeah, I mean, if you compare it to size-wise, it would probably be like a Cape buffalo going after a lion or a lioness, and a Cape buffalo can fuck up a lion.
Fuck up a lion, yeah. Okay, I get that.
The beast found its first true victim nearby, a lone 14-year-old girl named Jeanne Boulet. Boulet sadly had no bulls to defend her.
Wait, what? Oh.
You don't even listen to me, Joel.
No, I thought that was another I thought that was a sexist joke. I thought you said.
I know.
Unfortunately, she has no balls, so she couldn't defend herself.
What I was thinking is, I know that there's some sort of sports joke in there. Like maybe I can like rag on Scottie Pippen or some shit. But surprise, surprise, not a sports guy.
No.
Attacks by the beast continued throughout 1764. The creature targeted lone men, women, and children, either ripping out their throats or crushing their skulls in its massive jaws. And that's what pretty much every victim died from, is either a bite to the neck, which is understandable coming from a canine or a large cat. Crushing the skull.
That's different.
There's 2 things that use that as a tactic for killing on a fairly regular basis, and that is either a lion. Well, I mean, saber-toothed tigers were actually known to kill things that way.
Canines.
And actually, something that I think is it's scary but also really cool is they've found like old ancient human skeletons that have bite marks from saber-toothed tigers in their heads, where they've got the two big puncture wounds on their head, because that's how the saber-toothed tiger would kill him.
And then it would suck the brains out.
Yeah, like the brain bug from Starship Troopers.
Yeah. I understand.
Never forget Kondathu. Oh, the other thing that also kills by crushing skulls is a hyena.
Oh, really?
You notice from the description that I read earlier that it had abnormally wide or
like
broad
a hyena chest. Yeah.
So that's one of the proposed theories on
That it
what
was
it
just
was.
a giant hyena?
Like I said, I don't want to jump too far ahead.
It was a
which
giant hyena.
I'm jumping
lion.
ahead of myself by doing that.
Did it have polka dots?
No, stripes along the back.
Oh, stripes. Wait, it's a tiger?
By December of that year, the entire region was gripped in terror. The attacks were so brutal, they soon reached the royal palace in Versailles.
Double brutal.
Double brutal. Just like Austrian Death Machine.
Triple brutal, dude.
Did they release Triple Brutal?
Yes.
If nobody's listened to Austrian Death Machine and you like
Metal?
good metal, go listen to Austrian Death Machine. It's fucking amazing.
And actually, each album got better.
Yeah.
The third album, they got like a professional. I think they actually just got Arnold to be on the album.
Oh, yeah. So as a little bit of backstory, Austrian Death Machine is a metal band with Tim Lambesis from As I Lay Dying that is purely, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger themed. Every single song is based off of Arnold Schwarzenegger
and
quote or Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
The drum solos and guitar solos and all that shit are done by different famous musicians. If you read through the songs.
I didn't know.
Guest,
I thought
it's like guest guitarists, guest drummers, guest everything on all the songs.
I thought that Tim Lambesis finally
he did almost
learned
all
how
the
to
music.
shred.
He did,
he
does
a
all the
great
music
songwriter.
himself, but then
you know what
he
else
gets
he's really good
guests
at?
to shred.
Tim Lambesis is really good. Well,
Trying to kill his wife?
Tim Lambesis is really bad at trying to hire a hitman to kill his wife, and that's why he went to prison.
But he got out of it because of Double Jeopardy.
And then he wrote arguably the worst As I Lay Dying album to date.
I hated it.
Yeah.
There's a new one coming, though, maybe. I'm still going to listen to it.
Hopefully he doesn't fuck this one up. On January 12th, 1765, a man named Jacques Portefeuille and 7 of his friends were traveling through the area when they were set upon by the beast. The creature attacked several times, but the men were able to defend it off by staying together in a tight group. They carried the tale of their encounter to the court of King Louis XV, who put a bounty on the beast's head.
And old King Louis, bobbity bam, he's going to fix it for you.
Multiple renowned soldiers and wolf hunters attempted to kill the Beast of Gévaudan, all of whom failed. The first captain of the Clermont Prince Dragoons and his men were sent to Gévaudan, but were ultimately unable to kill it after several encounters.
What was it, Coop?
Well, we're getting to that. I can't jump ahead to the end of the story yet.
How many people did it kill?
Like I said at the top, by the time it was done, over 500 deaths were attributed
shit,
to
that's
it.
fucking awesome. I like this thing. The big kitty.
A pair of professional wolf hunters were the next to try hunting down the beast, and although they hunted it for 4 months, they too left without the creature's head. After the previous failures, King Louis XV dispatched his lieutenant of the hunt and sole arquebus bearer, Francois Antoine. And an arquebus is like an old-timey rifle. On September 20th, 1765, Antoine killed a massive gray wolf measuring 5 feet 7 inches long and weighing over 130 pounds.
Fuck.
The wolf was declared to be the dreaded Beast of Gévaudan, and its corpse was stuffed before being sent back to Versailles as proof. Antoine and his son were hailed as heroes, and the beast's reign of terror was thought to be over. But it wasn't over yet. Soon after Antoine departed, the attacks continued.
That's no wolf. It's a space station. I don't think that works. I said it.
On December 2nd of 1765, 2 young boys, aged 6 and 12, were attacked by the beast.
Fuck.
The pair
They
were
know
able,
they bit the skulls?
no, the pair were able to fend it off,
What?
but later victims weren't so lucky. So the older boy actually defended the 12-year-old defended the 6-year-old and was able to actually fight it off.
This old beast must be getting old.
It's been shot a lot of times. That's some of the details that I've left out. Is this thing has been shot and stabbed?
But it can take it
tons of
at the
fucking
time to get the
times.
kill, and then it splits. And heals.
It's
It's weakening it.
there's a lot of the people that were trying to hunt it have reported that they actually hit it
I
or
shot the
stabbed
motherfucker.
it,
Yeah.
and it just kept
Kept
going
going.
like it didn't even feel anything. And we're going to get into a theory about why that is. The creature continued to attack people and cattle for another year, claiming dozens more victims.
Fuck.
It wasn't until June 19th, 1767, that a local hunter named Jean Chastel was able to finally put a stop to the killings. Remember the name John Chastel?
John Chastel.
John Chastel, remember that. On the slopes of Mount Mouchet,
Chastel.
during a hunt organized by local nobles, Chastel shot and killed a creature believed to be the infamous Beast of Gévaudan. When its stomach was opened, the remains of recent victims were found within.
Oh, fuck.
Now, multiple theories have been put forth to identify the Beast of Gévaudan. Some believe it wasn't a single creature at all, but a pack of wolves that was responsible for the killings, and they just explained mass hysteria as all of these different people so afraid of this one singular idea
But it
that
was a
they're
pack.
attributing it all to a single creature. Others believe it to be either a lion or hyena that had escaped the menagerie of a local noble.
Hyena wouldn't be able to crush. They really could crush a human skull? They're so small.
No, hyenas have the strongest bite force of any terrestrial creature, I think. Like, I think they literally have the strongest bite force
Terrestrial?
of any land-based creature. I mean,
Hyenas have the strongest bite strength of any terrestrial creature. My name is Matthew Cooper.
excuse me for using the proper terminology for things, Joel.
So Dr. Chastity killed the beast?
Jean Chastel. Like I said, remember that. So the most interesting theory was put forth in 2001 by a French naturalist named Michel Louis. According to Louis...
Naturalists.
Now listen to this. According to Louis, the creature was a large mastiff bred by Chastel himself that he made resistant to bullets and spears by giving it leather armor made from a boar's hide.
Oh, it was a dog.
And not just a dog bred by Chastel himself that he put fucking armor on.
And was like, go kill some shit.
And then I'm going to kill you, and I'm going to be a fucking hero for it. The king had a bounty on the head of this thing.
Yeah.
But okay, so something that kind of
that's weird 'cause
something that kind of pokes a hole in that
dogs
is that
killing kids?
the bounty didn't. Oh, dogs kill kids all the time.
I guess they do, actually, yeah.
So the fact that the attack started before the king put a bounty on, there was no way that Chastel could have known that the king was going to put a bounty on the head of this thing. Maybe he thought
it was just for
that,
fun at first.
which I mean, yeah, that's a good way
to do all that anyway.
It's a good way to
sure.
spend a summer. But
I could see if I was like living out in the forest and I was like, man, fuck everybody, man. I would make a cool killer
well,
dog.
also that's kind of similar to firefighters starting fires so they can fight the fire and get some cred. Chastel was a hunter. He was like, oh man, maybe if I put some crazy strong dog out there with fucking armor on, that somebody will pay me to kill it. And then it just kind of blew out of proportion. He was like, holy shit, this is way better than I ever thought it was going to be.
Of course, this is what it is.
Now, I personally prefer to believe the theory proposed by the 2001 film The Brotherhood of the Wolf,
I think it's a lion, personally.
in which the creature is a lion
Yeah.
in spiked metal armor working for a secret society bent on overthrowing the king and taking control of France, and I dare anyone to prove me wrong.
I think that's the one.
I fucking dare you. Prove me wrong.
Why does that? It's not that crazy. I think that is probably what it is. It was a fucking lion.
A lion with metal armor on?
Like, literally, maybe a team of fucking sweet rebels got their hands on a lion. We're like, what the fuck? We have a lion.
We need to watch The Brotherhood of the Wolf.
Let's put some armor on it and fucking have it attack people.
That's
and
literally
use it to
spoiler alert, that's
just
literally
like
the plot
Vlad
of
the
Brotherhood of
Impaler,
the Wolf.
the guy that was gonna kill Vlad. He was like, he had to do the same thing. He had to pretend like, oh, it's not that the corpse, all those bodies didn't scare me. That he impaled 1,000 people. or
No,
20,000.
I respect it.
I respect it. And then this king had to fucking be like, oh, there's a crazy monster out there, and we're gonna find it, and it worked. They probably did all kinds of other shit on the side because they were distracted by this lion. They're like using it. That was the Trojan horse, and they were probably doing all kinds of other shit.
It was a fucking false flag attack.
yeah,
It,
like
the
what was
beast of Gévaudan.
just like
The Beast of Gévaudan was the original 9/11.
Yes, and also it coordinates and connects with the Grubers, because that's exactly what Simon was doing with all the fucking bombs and riddles.
That's how his family
Just distracting them.
That's how his family gained enough power to be able to finance this generational terrorist organization.
Yeah, well, and Simon was like, well, shit, my great-grandpa used a lion.
So wait,
I'll use riddles.
holy shit, no, that means that the murderer in in Bavaria that slaughtered all those people all the Grubers on that farm, that was John McClane's ancestor. They've been fighting for years.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say that was the lion, but it was Daddy McClane Senior.
That was Johann McClane.
Johann McClane of the Clan McClanes.
All right, let's wrap this up and get out of here.
All right.
I totally off topic, but I just realized I'm dressed like this. I hear all of our coworkers talking outside.
We should go out together.
I have to walk out there looking like this.
I say we go together as Bert and Ernie, and we show them who we are.
You don't have the unibrow on though. That's what I'm embarrassed about. Is because I look like a fucking idiot.
Nah, you're gonna get more respect. You'll get a little more attention at first. They'll laugh, and then they'll be like, "We're proud of you."
I think we have different definitions of respect. That's it for this episode of the Iconoblast podcast. Join us next week when we're going to be talking about ghosts, and ideally we should have a very, very special guest in the studio.
A bit of this and a little bit of that.
A very special guest in the studio. Somebody that you all know, but you don't know you know him.
If you don't know him, you will soon.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Is that how that works? I don't know. All right, we'll see you all next week. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Iconoblast Podcast.
And give us a 5-star and leave a review on iTunes. That's super important.
On Apple Podcasts, give us a 5-star review. I mean, give us a 1-star review, 2-star review, preferably 5-star.
Talk shit about it.
Drop a comment. All right, join us all next week. We're going to be talking about ghosts, and there's a strong chance that remote for the smoke machine is going to mysteriously disappear.
Come in. Hello. Do you copy? Your landing gear is down.
That's it for this episode of the Iconoblast Podcast. My name is Matt Cooper.
My name is Ernie.
Reminding you to never take anything at face value.